January 1st, 2005. That morning, I stood in my proverbial Sunday best outside of the flagship Fifth Avenue store for FAO Schwarz, New York. In my hand was a bag filled with clothing that, up until 12 hours prior, had been my work uniform at one of my first jobs that I ever held down. On that day, the first day, the first week of the first month of that year, I was the first person to walk through those doors and receive the hero's welcome that we would shower upon the clientele every morning during that particular run of FAO Schwarz. While a bit of a cheeky gesture, it was, in fact, one laced with a lot of symbolism, and also the fulfillment of a promise I had made to many of my co-workers at the time. Just so happened that the first day following my last was New Year's Day 2005, a year which was not only personally symbolic to me, personally significant to me, but one that was very significant for digital era entertainment as a whole. Because it was that year that the brand was publicly unveiled to the world after 2 years of quiet dormancy doing personal projects by way of the fan project Final Fantasy vs. Kaiju Big Battle. It has been a very long, very difficult journey since then, but it is one that has been ultimately very satisfying. And I can now say, all these years later, that digital era entertainment is still thriving despite the periods of inactivity between projects. This past year, Digital Era Entertainment relaunched one of its brands, one that was intended for 2007, but has now been reborn in a much more appropriate time. Digital Era Entertainment Corps. It's funny, because this past year, everything has truly come back together. And as we begin this new chapter of Digital Era Entertainment's history, it has begun with a very simple mantra, one that we have permeated throughout our Patreon initiative, that it takes a village, not a Batman. And I am very proud to begin this new step forward, this new confident step forward, not alone, like I did back in 2005 when I walked through those doors, but instead surrounded by some of the world's finest who will be accompanying us on this next step of the journey. The host of our new Digital Era Entertainment Corps podcast, DEE, as we have affectionately come to know it as, is a man who I have been privileged to know for many years as a friend. In fact, dating back to that pivotal year of 2005. He has also been a longtime collaborator on many projects, including some of the most seminal works of Digital Era Entertainment in recent memory. He's the editor-in-chief of Digital Era Entertainment Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of DEE, Mr. Kenneth Cardes.
Oh, this is an exciting time. I didn't go into this alone, though. Because I said if we were going to bring this back, I was bringing it back with a crew that I loved. Those of you who are tuning in, anyone watching on the stream right now, these are some familiar faces. If you remember the old Geek Fist podcast, we are back. Surprise. I brought both my partners in crime, Mr. Wally Yarn, who will be my co-host for this episode. And of course, I couldn't do this without the main man himself, the Lion Master with the HD hair, Mr. Christian Galan. Man, thank you for that awesome introduction. Big thanks to Gino, who's kind of hiding over here. This guy over here.
I'm no longer a disembodied voice.
You're not a disembodied voice. We have faces now. We have faces. So, we're here at Waypoint Cafe. It's located at 65 Ludlow Street. We want to give a big shout out to the Waypoint Cafe and Gino. owner operator of said cafe, for letting us use these facilities and giving us all this cool equipment. I'm looking like all the tech here is amazing. It's awesome. But we're back. This is Cold. We are Cold. We're here to discuss and talk with you and share some of our thoughts on things.
So you want us to go back in the old swing of things with this?
Yeah, pretty much, man. It's a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yes,
Happy
Good New Year.
to all of you.
Welcome to 2018, man.
20 for 18.
Ask you that.
We're coming in like a freight train.
I have my
I
own mic.
guess.
20 freight.
A little engine that could.
Yeah, we're a little
I
engineering
think I
good.
can. I think I can. I think
That's
I
what we
can.
are.
And then you
Yeah,
slaughters of
that's,
the.
I like that. I like that we are the little engine that could. So we're back. I'm just gonna go right at the bat saying it is great to be back in the booth with you guys. It was a very long overdue just to get back together with you guys. So I think I gotta say it. Gotta bring back the name. I'm here with Big Papa Doom over here, and it's interesting because like before it was like I was the now you're leading it. So it's like I'm gonna sit back and let him go with it.
Hold up.
The rules have kind of reversed, but
We're still the same.
we're all a
We're
big
still the
family
same.
here.
We're
You
all
know,
a big family,
it was
man.
all one whole step
Yeah.
thing, and we're just gonna bring it to you guys and just sort of like introduce ourselves. I mean, as Mario said before, I'm the editor-in-chief of Core, one of our new editors here at Digital Era Entertainment. This is Cold. Wally?
Oh, me. Me.
Is it Auram?
Orum. I want to say Orum. Yeah, my own
I thought it
name.
was Orim.
It's Orum. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Wally Orum. I am former podcaster of the Geek Fest podcast. They brought me back here to be on the mic with Ken and help him out with Decor, and I'm super excited to run into this. He told me about it off the bat, and I was like, yeah, I want to help you guys out because I got your back with this, and it's great to be back behind the mic with you guys.
And back from the multiple dimension time traveling escapades.
They're still going on.
The man with the HD hair himself, the lion tamer.
I left my lion hat outside too. Hi, Christian Galan. Crap, I don't even know where to.
And you and the multitude of aliases you have.
I have. This is very true. I've amassed a lot over the years.
You have. That's been kind of the thing.
The one that's stuck around the most was HD hair though.
Yeah.
Yeah, AC hair is something that no
The one that's
never
stuck around the
changed.
most. Super excited to be back. I am so ready. I even braved. I don't. You know me. I don't go outside in the cold. Don't do
You
it.
don't?
I don't do it.
You hate it.
We go outside.
Right?
Yeah, that's. Oh wow, we went outside. We actually.
Am I the only one who actually has to go outside each and every day?
Speaking
No.
of which,
My name is
Gino, welcome back.
Yes, for once. I've been actually super busy, so
Yeah,
I've been
running a cafe, doesn't it?
Yeah, running a cafe kind of takes up all my time.
yeah, it does.
So yeah, basically my name is Luigi Gigante. I'm also known as CL Geek Boy. I still use the actual CL part of it.
Yeah.
Memories.
That's a charm.
But yeah, I own Waypoint Media Cafe LLC, which is also known as in New York City as Waypoint Cafe NYC. We are New York's first video game cafe, like in Manhattan.
Yeah.
What makes us different than other land centers is the fact that I actually give a damn about coffee. So you guys don't have to sit there and like.
Their coffee is actually really good.
Yes.
I need
I'm
to try
personally a
some. I
fan
haven't had
of
it
the
yet.
hot chocolate, so
Oh, the Arthas hot chocolate?
I love hot chocolate.
No, but
The
have you
Arthas-
tried the Arthas?
I
hot
tried the
chocolate?
artist.
Okay.
I think it's amazing.
I like this that this new setup is that he can just slowly lean in over the shoulder like that, just like that, and
Yep.
like that.
You also see me pop in and out because
And,
I'm just doing tests.
Of course, we were introduced by Mario Bueno, founder of Digital Era Entertainment. He's off in the corner doing his thing.
That was really emotional. That intro,
Well,
that tugged at my heartstrings.
I mean, everything for I think everyone in this room, everything has been a journey, and we've had a lot of ups and downs, and for the most part, we've been there for each other.
We have.
For all of those, and
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps it close. We're more than just a village; we're the family.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with a little bit of a throwback. I think a lot of people have always wanted to know, what have you been up to? What have you been up to as far as gaming or in life or whatever? Wally,
Yeah.
what have you been playing?
What have I been
haven't
playing?
been playing. I
What
don't
have?
even know.
Actually, I picked up a new game just like about a month ago. I got started getting into this game. It's called Streets of Rogue. It is a top-down rogue dungeon crawler beat 'em up game that is legit 1 part GTA, 1 part Binding of Isaac, 1 part Deus Ex. It's fantastic. Everything I love about it, that I love about immersive games, is in this kind of thing because you can beat stuff up. For one, I love indie games that can beat stuff up. But it also has the fact that I can play multiple classes. Also, the fact that I'm allowed to do things like bribe people, extort people to get items. Because you'll have a miss. It's like, yeah, you got to go here and take an item. Okay. Do you want to go in there and kill the character? Like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to try to steal it from someone. There's a class of character called a thief that you can just pickpocket people. You just pickpocket the item from the person, complete the mission. It's a really fun game. I highly recommend it. Right now, it's only on Steam and it's in alpha stage right now. But I get the feeling that once it gets its big time official release, I see it definitely being. I am making a bold claim right now. First bold claim of the new podcast. This game will be on the Switch. I see
the
this
Switch has
game being on
been
the
really good.
Switch. Yes.
Who publishes it?
Who publishes it? It was the same people that made the game.
Don't start.
Yes, that's people. Yes, made by.
Okay, then it's coming onto the Switch
Yeah.
automatically.
And also, it's also a co-op game too.
Yeah.
So the game, this game itself is
We
also
get to play
co-op.
together.
Yeah, we can play together. Yeah. So I really get the feeling that this game is definitely going to be on the Switch, just from everything, the way the game is built from the ground up. It's definitely going to be on the Switch. I'm making that claim right now.
I mean, the Switch has been a great home for indie titles. It's
really
nice to see Nintendo
solid.
embrace
Yeah.
the indie culture.
I check the eShop like every other
I
day.
do. Yeah, I do.
It's like, what, is there anything new on here?
Yeah.
Every other day.
Am I the only one checking the Japanese eShop
Probably.
for the random stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Because
are.
you have to be the weird one.
Weird. I wanted Saruman Kerrigan. And I got it.
Wait, what?
Senran Kagura.
Yeah,
Is that what
Saruman
Tigers
Kerrigan.
Oh,
On the
man,
Japanese eShop, yeah.
I still gotta get Peach Peach.
Dynasty Warriors, with
Yeah. Super fan service
Super
Dynasty
fan
Warriors.
service
Yeah.
Dynasty
Listen,
Warriors.
man, I have a couple.
And then,
of them.
and then Peach Peach Splash, I guess, was like super fan service Platoon.
Don't forget Bon
Yep.
Appetit, man. I like that one.
Yeah.
It's a rhythm game. Come on, man.
Speaking of which, what have you been playing, dude?
Me?
Well, either one of you.
Your eye was like going back and forth. I was like, who is it?
That's the new thing about the vlog. It's just like, so. It's the thing.
We're live, Wally!
I know! We're going live. It's my thing. I'm like, crap, who do I look to when I want to talk? Do I look at the camera? Do I look at Ken? Do I look at Gallant? I don't know.
I mean, I gotta shave.
Yeah, I
so
do
there's
too.
that.
You're confused about who to look at. I'm running one thing here, and then I have to look at the camera, and then I have to make sure everything over there is fine.
I think that monitor shut off, by the way.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I noticed that. I kind of can't reach over.
Anyway,
What
Don't
have
mind
you
my
been-
head.
What have you been playing?
yeah, what
I
have you
think
been playing?
This is inappropriate.
What have you been playing, Ken?
Lower. Too low.
So oh, there we go. Oh,
Hey!
hey! Okay.
Tiny Bill, thank you, voice acting ninja.
Yeah.
That is. Is that who I think it is?
Yes, I think.
Redman.
Lucas,
Let us
thank you
know how
so
everything
much for
is, by the
joining
way.
the program.
Thank you so much.
Let us know how all the levels are and everything. Because it's fine for like the personal recording, but sometimes when you send stuff over Twitch, it's like,
Is that Breadman?
Yes, that's the Breadman.
Oh my, Breadman! Shout out to
Breadman!
Yo, we gotta get Keith on the show.
Oh, we
Late
do.
Yo, Breadman, next episode, I'm gonna let you know you're coming on. Oh my God, it's gonna be lit.
It's gonna
Uh,
be- oh, God.
extra chair back there.
Wait.
That is amazing.
But what have I been playing?
Yeah, what have
Okay,
you been
so
playing?
I've been playing a lot of stuff. I'm still playing Super Mario Odyssey.
You can never stop playing that game.
That game has infinite stars, moons.
Yeah, you
There's just too
cannot
much
stop
stuff.
playing that game. And I like that you can't stop playing that game.
Begrudgingly, the Destiny 2 slog still has me.
Yeah, that's a...
That's a tough subject for me.
I have a personal
I'm-
story about that game.
Yeah.
I know I mean, I play it because my friends play it, so like I like to.
I think that's where I'm at right now. I think that's where I'm at.
I
Right
got
now.
my friend to buy it twice. Because he bought it
I mean,
originally
I'm
on the
hoping they fixed a
PS4.
lot of stuff. They fixed it. Sorry, Redman sold his. The hate is real.
No.
But yeah, as far I mean, I haven't really done too much gaming outside of Mario Odyssey and Destiny 2, mostly because I just moved into my new apartment,
Right.
and that was taking up a lot of my time. Yeah. But I did have some time to get into a new trading card game. I played a new Dragon Ball Super card game.
I am really liking that card game. I am liking that card game a lot.
I'm not going back to that. That's an abusive relationship.
I mean, that was
I went to
the old
rehab
card
for
game.
that.
You think of the old card game. This is all brand new. They're doing it smart. Trust me.
No, I'm just talking about TCGs in general.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's crack.
Yeah.
It really is.
It really is.
Crack is whack.
I don't know.
But no.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, the Dragon Ball card game. It's really interesting because, like, I've also gotten into the Dragon Ball Super anime as well. I've never been a huge Dragon Ball fan. Like, I followed it. I know the arcs. I knew the story. I was like off and on. Like, I know the sagas and whatnot. But Dragon Ball Super has made me a fan of Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Not to go up. I'm not saying it's going off topic, but it's been a while since I enjoyed Dragon Ball like this in such a long time. Back then, I enjoyed Dragon Ball. I mean, I liked watching it, but this is like first time I'm sitting here watching. Like, so really, what's going to happen next? Like, is this point is this point where I can't figure out what's going to happen, and that's kind of new for me when it comes to Dragon Ball, because it's like, oh yeah, basic formula. We have this big bad. We have Goku goes in, beats him up, and story over. But
first is Vegeta goes in and gets beat up. Goku.
Oh no, you forgot. Vegeta does the whole this pose, and then he gets beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, they still do it, but I just really like it. It's also very fresh, new take on Dragon Ball in general.
I think something happened.
Yeah. You switch scenes.
Damn, Meryl.
And we're back. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that, folks. So you were talking about the Dragon Ball Super card game, though, and how it reunited your love with the anime?
Yeah, I love the anime. It got me into, like, the card game came out. I'm looking forward to the Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Oh,
yeah. Later this month.
Big time.
I'm so excited.
It's been a while since I've been excited about a fighting game.
Yeah.
I'm running Team Struggle Bug, son. Humans all day. Yamcha, T, and Krillin, hardest working humans around.
I think Christian Golan is like pure goal for this game is to be the #1 Yamcha fighter in the United States.
Oh my god.
Top 500 Yamcha.
Top 500 Yamcha. By the way, he's the only one like 500. It's all Christian Golan 500 times down the list.
My Yamcha's in the top 10%.
I know.
I mean, but you've always been like a fan of like the underdogs, whoever.
So,
like every fighting game, you're just like, I'm gonna pick this character at super low tier, and
then they get nerfed every single time.
We are learning. Me and a couple of friends have been going back over my fighting game history, my past. It's very, very either I picked the worst characters or my characters are like broken.
Yeah, I've noticed that
That's
because,
me.
and
That's also
I
me.
think that, and I'm noticing that it even extended into every other thing you did. When we played the World of Warcraft TCG, he played a rogue deck which was broken, but he played like the weirdest version of the rogue deck that just worked so well for him, and he did amazingly well with it.
I mean, we had this discussion before, but that's what happens when you have like us as testing players.
Yeah,
And they're just
exactly,
like,
yeah.
All right, so this beats that, so it should work everywhere else, and it does. And then I'm like, okay, but what can I put in to beat that?
Yeah.
And like, it just helps having that mindset.
It does. It really does.
Like even in fighting games, like I think the last time I got into a competitive fighter was like Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah, we went to Vegas for that.
I went to Vegas. I took a trip.
Oh man!
Vegas.
First of all, shout out to Breadman for saying Yamcha low high tier.
Oh my god, Stairs like Christian and Jackie Bryant. That's so true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, that's been it. Like just new card game. Like as far as actual gaming goes, Dragon Ball is definitely the Fighter Z.
And
then like immediately like the week after it comes out, we get Shadow of the Colossus HD.
No.
2.0.
The same day it drops is Monster Hunter World.
Yeah. No.
It's a very much of a perfect.
You're terrible.
It's a perfect. I will say this. It is kind of this January is definitely the perfect storm of game
It
releases.
sucks that they launch on the same day.
I know.
That's so lame.
Capcom had it first.
I know.
It's true. No, Capcom did have the day first, but it's we're getting a very much of a perfect storm.
Monster Hunter. I mean, I really wanted to dive back into Monster Hunter. I played Monster Hunter when it was like on the PS2, way back in the day.
Oh, that's
You can't use the analogs to attack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God. Ooh.
And,
Oh, you can set that again.
No.
I don't want to.
Did they bring that back?
Yeah,
Yes.
you could
You
set
can
the controller,
customize
and
it,
custom
yeah.
controls.
Like I played the beta. Yeah, like the beta was fun. I just for some reason it didn't really like click or resonate with me. So I was like, I'm gonna give this one a pass. I'm sure like the Monster Hunter community is gonna.
No, because actually a lot of people in the Monster Hunter community, from what I heard, there's mixed reviews. But then everyone kind of realized, oh, they had a stupid setting on
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing
at
also.
default. So you actually have to go into controller settings, reset it, and then it's like, oh, it kind of works how it played on the 3DS, which everyone actually enjoyed.
It's because a lot of people who are jumping into Monster Hunter World are the people who have been playing the 3DS games.
Yeah.
So that's why. So when they start playing this, it's like, oh, I'm not playing the 3DS game anymore. What are these controls? I don't get this. There are so many things that people who played the old school Monster Hunter are getting back now when they're playing Monster Hunter. So it's kind of a give
No,
and
everyone
take,
had a
yeah.
complaint about the item switching.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
I did.
Because you had to actually physically turn that off,
Yeah.
and then it made sense.
Yeah, I had that.
They tied it
complaint about that too.
to camera.
Yeah,
Which
it
is
was
stupid.
It was a thing. That was a thing.
And don't forget too, one of the biggest things about Monster Hunter is making your armor and weapons, and you don't have that in the beta. You're missing an entire aspect of the game.
You're just all you're doing is playing.
No,
Just
like even like something like the combat, it just didn't really like click and like.
Did you scumbag Rathalos or no?
Yes. Like
Did-
who wasn't scumbag in Rathalos?
No, I mean, did you like let it land and everything, and then hit it with the water?
I might have.
Wait, you hit it with the water, and then it just gets knocked off its nest down a fucking the waterfall, yeah.
Glorious moment.
That's always moment.
Scumbag Rathalos.
Rathalos. I hate him so much. I saw it happen, and I was like,
I don't know. Like I'm sure it's gonna be. I'm sure the Monster Hunter community will love it. Especially when it comes to the Waypoint Cafe, and you have it here on your setups here.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you have to have
With
events,
the-
right?
with the
Yeah, we are going to be having
Monster
events hosted through Monster Hunter NYC, which is a well-known group here in New York City. So we're hosting stuff with them. We'll be hosting. It's every Saturday, so from 6 to 11.
Cool. All right. 6 to 11. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, definitely come by, check out the cafe. Christian, anything else you want to do besides like Battleship Brigade and shit?
oh my god, I love Battleship Brigade. It's so good.
Shout outs to Jackie.
Serious.
Oh, seriously, big shout outs to her and that amazing game.
Sorry.
Thank you, Breadman Can, for following.
Proud.
I've actually been having a little bit of a throwback with my games. I've been getting back into a lot of my old time sinks. I'm back on playing Sims again for some reason. Yeah, right? I'm back playing Sims again for some reason. I'm playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm though.
Who are you and what have you done, Christian?
I have been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm.
I want to get back into HOTS. Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of HOTS. People don't know how to kill anymore.
No.
No, they
really
don't.
don't.
They don't.
That I haven't played Marvel because I actually
Why?
like it now.
Wait, which
Actually,
Marvel are we talking?
Infinite.
Why?
I actually like it now.
Why?
I really do.
Actually, Gino brings up a good question.
I got burned by that game. I had to buy 5 keys of that shit.
Well, I'm not talking on a business level. I'm talking about.
Thank you, BTerry92, for following.
I think I know who that is. Yay. Thank you, Ryan.
So, Milan, this is actually a question I actually want your answer. Why do you like Infinite, if you don't mind me?
It's a fair question because I hated every other one.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually curious, because you have a history of not liking these games.
Oh.
But now you come out of nowhere and say, I like it. So what changed you? Is this an older, wiser Galan?
No, there's no X-Men, that's why.
I like the X-Men.
There's no Fantastic Four, that's why. There's no Doctor Doom, there's no Mango, Sentinel. There's no gravity squeeze.
We will not speak of the lack of Doom.
It's the whole engine / system. It's like a whole different direction. One of my biggest things that I hate about the other one was the whole.
It's because of Monster.
It's because of Monster Hunter. Redman with
And-
yeah, that's a good reason.
It's true. Monster Hunter is in it. and I
Who's
had
the
to-
most polished character?
I had to play her. This is on the team permanently.
She is
anyway.
really good.
She
I
is
like.
excellent.
I mean, I've played the game too. I like mixing her and Jeddah.
That's a good combo.
Yeah,
That's a good
it's
combo.
so good.
I have issues with this game on a technical standpoint.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
No, I have actual issues on it on a developer standpoint. Why is a sound setting that is just to set your microphone a 9 gigabyte patch?
I don't know. Yeah,
Because
I remember
Capcom.
that, yeah.
Are you sending me the whole like sound file? Like, why is that a
probably
9?
are.
Why is that one thing? So basically, what the issue was, if you set your mic settings and then quit the game and then relaunch, it didn't save. You had to save, play a match, then quit the game. That's the only way that it could save. So they fixed that. So instead of sending out a 5 megabyte patch, because I went through the PC version, found the goddamn patch that they had to do, found the file, and I'm like, this is a 5 megabyte patch. So you just pushed out your entire soundtrack all over again. 9 gigs of music.
No, I mean it's a lot. You're playing the characters now. You're not playing characters and their assists. Like some characters you only use because like they offered you this, they offered you that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
If Doom didn't have his actual tools, they'd still use him because he had missiles. That's what that game kind of.
I just missed Flip Dive.
It happened in 2. Happened in 2 too. There's a tier list for characters. There's a tier list for assists. Some characters were garbage, but man, their assists were great.
Is that the same issue for Tatsunoko v Capcom?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And that's why you always chose Go Lightan.
I didn't just go like that.
I mean, that's why I always chose Go
Let's
Lightan.
polymorph all day. Man.
No, for his assist, because his assist was he'd pop in, he'd free knock up, and then you just get a free air grab.
I thought Gold Knight 10 was a 2 character. You can only use him.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was a 2-character one.
Yeah.
So then, I'm thinking of another character then.
Yeah.
No.
But I actually enjoy this one a lot. I feel like it's fairer in an unfair way. It's weird. There's a lot of room for nasty, stupid
Definitely.
stuff. A lot of room for nasty, stupid stuff.
I don't know. The community seems to hate it because it's dead on PC.
I
I
mean,
mean, who's playing fighting games on a PC? To
Actually,
begin
quite a
with?
lot of people.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't get
the
behind.
input
I,
I can't get behind that.
I love PC gaming, but I can't get behind
No,
playing
actually,
fighting games.
Street Fighter 5 actually is preferred on the PC for some weird reason, because of the input lag.
probably.
Most likely.
Oh yeah, probably yeah.
Marvel, for some reason, we have a total combination of like 150 users online at all times.
Jesus,
The peak was 200 last week.
that's crazy. What about you, Gino?
What have I been
What have
playing?
you been playing?
Absolutely nothing because I've been busy. No, let me rephrase that. I've been playing Network Administrator.
I love that game.
Okay.
When's the patch coming out?
You got past that segment. now.
When's the patch coming out?
Oh, I have no idea when that patch is coming out. Basically, what I've been busy with is setting up the cafe, which is part. It's funny because with when people ask me what motivated me to do this, I always tell them pure spite. Because back in middle school, a teacher said this was a stupid idea. She was an English teacher. Do you think her name begins with a T? Anyway, so yeah, here I am with my own cafe. We do video game stuff, so ha. I've been basically, and realistically, I've been playing a bit of everything of our entire catalog. So everything from PUBG to League of Legends to Dota 2 to Hearthstone, Shadowverse, Street Fighter, Tekken 7, Gigantic, just so I can offer people everything. So
That's good. I
It's
mean,
really good actually.
juggling about
variety is the
30
spice of
different
life.
games at once is very, very hard when I have to remember patch notes and everything.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Everything.
Well, one of the things that we're gonna aim to make a focal point on this venture, when we did Geek Fest, it was pretty much a very broad spectrum of things. We're kind of zeroing in on a specific topic of intrigue and maybe an inspiration also, since we're all going to be venturing into this thing in some way, shape, or form over the course of 2018. And that's esports, which is going to be one of the central things that we're going to be talking about here on this show. Competitive gaming is probably in the biggest boom it's ever been in recent history. I mean, they're coming from me. I back when my biggest competition in terms of FPS gaming was going to QuakeCon and playing in those tournaments there, I would have never imagined that esports would be the way it is now. You know, you have events here at the cafe.
Yep.
We got stuff like the Overwatch League coming out.
I do have one question for you. How do you spell it?
Ow.
No. Esport. How do you spell the word?
It's E-sports.
Nope.
That's what it should be, but
No, it's E. It's lowercase e, capital S sport.
So it's Esports.
Esports.
Esport. Yes. 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 That's
Sports.
exactly how it. Yes.
But I think that makes for a nice little discussion piece now. Like, where do we as Code see esports? Like, where they're currently and where it's going to go in the future? Like,
I feel when it comes to esports, they are at this kind of little stagnated point where they're making it big. They are definitely making it big, but they're kind of hitting like this. They're starting to hit that plateau of like, okay, where do we go from here now?
Yeah.
They're making huge strides. Like, I know me and Gina, we talked about it earlier that and you bring up the Overwatch League. The Overwatch League is legit treated like a major sports franchise, not even just like, you know, a simple game that people just like, oh, I want to watch people shoot 'em ups on my screens. No, it's treated like a
We got
legit major sports franchise.
teams.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the New York Excelsiors.
Oh yeah,
our
big
home
shout out to
team.
them.
Looking forward to seeing what they do
Yeah.
in this Overwatch League. They have a really good squad. I watched a lot of the preseason games. Amazing talent on that team.
I know they're listen, and like that just goes right back. They're making these. It's not just a team they made. No, these are teams where they scout out people, and they say, "Hey, do you want to be on the league?" It's not just like guys like 5 guys like, "Hey, let's register up together and play this game." No, they treat it the same way that they would treat any other major sports team, and that's kind of like showing where esports is going. Is that there are some of these games are treated at these big organizations like Overwatch League as a commissioner. Overwatch is being broadcasted on major broadcasting networks for their finals. So,
And I think like as far as like that aspect of it, you know, and that's just because of Blizzard being very in tune with the community and stuff like that. But I think a lot of the bigger problem with the other games of esports is like there's all this money that's ready to be thrown at it, and nobody knows what the hell to do with it.
yeah.
Well, yes and no. A lot of money is being thrown at the world's biggest like esport production studio is ESL now. They know what to do with it because their production quality for all their Dota 2 events, all the CSGO events are always top notch and everything like that. The issue isn't where the money is going. It's all right. A lot of the prize pools are large, and a lot of the prize pools goes to the players, things like that. Talent that's doing the casting, all that, fees, all those things. That's great.
I think
How do the investors make money?
That's the other thing.
That's where the next issue is. How is this? Sorry to get like. How does it keep going?
Yeah, my thing was this: like, you know, the investors want to make sure that they're making money. You have people who are getting sponsored, and it's like, you know, what do you do with this? Like, you know, yeah. I look forward to the day we get like an esports player shoe. You know?
Oh no, I look forward to the day that
Can I rock
I
the
get
gods?
yeah.
Like,
What? No, first of all, that too. Like, yeah, let me run those low tier high tops. Like, no, I don't want to rock those.
Well, I mean,
instead of the Jumpman pose, it's gonna have a guy doing this.
what is it? In Dota 2, actually, we kind of have that. With Corsair. Corsair does a lot of
they do.
Dota 2.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
With EG, with certain casters, things like that. Same with in League of Legends, you have Meta doing.
Yes, we do have
Meta
Meta,
threads
yeah.
doing stuff like that. So
And just
exists.
like another idea that I really like, you know, and being someone who has played and watch behind the scenes with a lot. Right here in New York City, we have the Mixer NYC studios, and their events. I think stuff like that.
That needs to happen.
That's more stuff like that needs to happen.
Yes.
The talent that's in that studio is amazing.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Jen and Zune and all the people that work over there at Mixer NYC. You guys have been phenomenal. And especially getting to watch your events live, getting to play in the Player Unknown Battlegrounds little month-long extravaganza tournament that we had. I unfortunately did not get the chicken dinner. But the squad that I had was good. I have no complaints. It was just fun. I went out there to have a good time, and
I have issues with the game being an esport. Logistically. Like, it's fun to watch. It's fun to participate in. But when you have 100 people, like for the Intel Oakland LAN, that was nuts. Because on the back end, everyone's sitting here, like, I know people who worked in the back end of that stuff, and they're like, okay, this is great and everything, but they had to run all diskless because no network could handle 100 people, squads of 4, all running at the same time.
Yeah, but it's just really interesting. I think, like, once they figure out what to do on the business sense of things, it will then propel itself to be taken a little more seriously. Because right now it still has that stigma of, it's just video games.
Yeah, and
Well,
that's always going to be. That's always going to be. No matter what. That's.
And I think like it needs to have something needs to happen. I don't know exactly what. I have a billion ideas, but something needs to happen where like people have to understand that this is legitimate. Like there are people who are building their careers on this. This is not like, you're wasting your life on video games.
No.
It's like, no, I can become a competitive gamer, and if I'm good at it and I practice enough, I might make a team. Like, it might not happen, I'm just saying, but like, the mentality is there that avenue, that branch is open.
Yeah.
It is.
Now more so than ever.
Growing up in
starting
the
the 80s
change.
and the 90s, like, we would have never seen this coming.
It's kind of like when you look at it, it's now officially become that thing that people, like, little kids, can now. Is getting close to that point where little kids can look at these esport players and say, "Oh, I want to do that when I grow up." They can do that now.
Like these guys that are coming in and making their names for themselves, whether it's the fighting game community, if it's the Overwatch community, the Dota community, like these guys are. I don't think they're aware of the potential that they have. That eventually their names are going to be almost as recognizable as like a Michael Jordan.
No, the Dota community knows.
Well, I mean, that's Dota.
The Dota community knows.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of there's players out there who
don't know. Yeah,
don't know that.
They don't
Like,
know
they
the
have
thing
that
that
appeal.
carries
I get where
behind
you're
them.
coming from because, for example, we were knee deep in the fighting game community.
Yes.
We were, knee deep in just sitting around in game stores playing fighting games on a weekly basis. And we saw people come in and out of that store that we now see at big-time competitions, big-time tournaments.
We were rubbing elbows with the likes of Justin Wong,
Exactly.
Chris G, and like these guys came to the next level. 8-bit,
These were the guys we saw on the regular, and now here they are, making it big in these top-tier names, and they're getting tons of sponsors. So that kind of just goes in that. Like there has to be something that just gets them out there and kind of like put these players out there. Let the world see that these are legitimate players. They are legitimate athletes.
Yeah.
View them as athletes.
I think there's people out there that do this, and there's people out there that like sponsor or manage certain players, and I think those are the people who are definitely on the right track. Excuse me, they're definitely on the right track.
Yeah.
I love you, Christian. Those are people that are on the right track in terms of the potential and the direction of where all this is going to head. I mean, we have a whole lot of time to talk about each and every game, but I think like something like the Overwatch League itself, I think that's definitely it's going to be huge.
Oh,
I feel like
I mean, there's sports paraphernalia. I can go out and buy like a New York Excelsior hat and a jacket and a jersey, and they have their own color skins for the characters.
They do
in the game, which I think is amazing.
That's a huge
My
thing.
only problem with that team is that they're owned by the Mets.
Whoa.
Somebody had to provide the money.
Yeah, hey, come on. First of all, it's the Mets. I like the Mets.
Cha-ching!
Yeah, I like the Mets, but someone had to do it.
Am I the only Yankee fan in this room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a New York fan, but I like the Mets a little more than the Yankees. Yeah.
It's personal with me. They ruined a bunch of my school commutes. But that's besides the point. Besides the point.
I like the Knicks.
Actually, can I pick your brains?
What?
Can I pick? All right. How would you?
Just a little too deep.
Oh no, I
That's
don't
scary.
want, that's kind of scary. Pick your brains here. How would
It's all
you?
food in
It's pretty much is your head. How would you guys handle? Like, if you're a manager,
Right.
so you're a manager, and you have the up and coming
Right.
esport player.
Okay.
How would you manage them to make them big, and like we said before, the investors get their money back?
It's really a lot of the self promotion aspect is what works the biggest. You got to sit there with this esports player. Like, look, you're gonna have to learn Instagram. You're gonna have to learn Twitter. You're gonna have to learn Snapchat. Social media is probably the biggest outreach platforms we have right now. I think this era that we're in terms of technology is ridiculously huge, and I think that people undervalue the potential that something as simple as Instagram can give you in terms of your business. Because yes, it's a free platform. There's no way to make money off of Instagram, but Instagram can be your advertisement to draw people into going on Twitch, going on Patreon.
No, there's ways to make money off of. Trust me when I say there are ways to make money off of Instagram.
I know there is. I'm just saying, but like it's a way to it's a way to guide people towards, hey, this is what I'm doing, and if you want to support me, here's this option.
If they're already professionalized in that aspect, like for example, we have a friend who's now working for Cloud9 as basically their social media person.
Okay.
That's all he does. So it's not, the player doesn't really get to run that. In Dota 2, yes, there's the professional one, and then there's
the player can make themselves their own brand.
Oh no, yeah.
By doing that, and it's
That's
just
what
like,
Team Secret is.
yeah.
That's exactly what Team Secret is in Dota 2 and CS:GO.
But that's something that I would try to instill in their mindset. That like yes, I'm going to do everything I can for you, and we're in it to win it, blah 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 blah. But if they themselves want to be that type of superstar, like that type of person, like I'm literally, when I mean like the next Michael Jordan, but like be out there, be involved in the community, interact with your fans.
It's such a big thing.
That is a huge thing. That is a huge thing.
It's a huge thing. I'm like, I mean, for lack of a better wrestler, John Cena the hell out of this. Like, just be that type of.
No,
You don't want to do The Rock?
I mean, The Rock's already a billionaire.
He's already. I know.
No, but like when he first started, John Cena took the same kind of idea.
Well, yeah. But I mean,
But I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
I'm looking at current, like, right now.
Yeah.
John Cena does so much, outside of wrestling, but everyone knows that it's John Cena, the wrestler. And I think a lot of these gamers need to do a lot of positive outreach outside of gaming. And while they're there, they're rocking their team. Like, when you go to like a Make-A-Wish Foundation, John Cena goes to his wrestling gear. It's like, hey, this is my shirt.
Well,
You want my shirt?
so
You can buy it.
would that be part of? Would that be part of, as like I said, you the hypothetical manager of this esport player? So would that be part of your goal? And this is something that is going to come up to ruin the stigmata that comes with esports players.
I would say so, because once you promote a degree of positivity, then the negative implications that come across not just gaming but
They hold no water.
any industry, like you start, it's always going to be there. Like it's going to be very hard to get rid of it 100%. But if you start promoting the positive aspects of it and you start really giving back to the community, over time it's going to change that stigma.
You got something? No, Gino looks like you. Gino, what do you want to say?
All
Gino?
right,
What do you wanna
so
say?
I don't know how many people actually here read The New Yorker. The New Yorker did a really good showcase piece on Twitch, on professional Twitch streamers. They focused on one Twitch streamer, and then they focused on another one here on the East Coast. One of them is EJ. he runs a Kerbal Space. He basically plays Kerbal Space Program professionally, to the point where he has done things with NASA to help like promote like, hey, you could go into like the field of aeronautic engineering and stuff like this to be an astronaut or anything, and he's done that. The problem isn't the stigma from outside. The problem is the stigma from internal. There are too many people who think they are good enough, but aren't actually at the level to present themselves. So the reason why Twitch started the whole kind of the new partner program was, yes, it's like, yes, there's the subscribers, and then there's the Twitch partner system. The partner system now has a stricter guideline where the person kind of has to be more sociable, things like that. Kind of has to be clean in a way.
Yes.
In that sense. That's kind of really hard still in terms of gaming. And I'm not saying, like, yes, gaming needs to grow up in that sense.
I get where you're going with this. The unfortunate reality is it's nothing personal, it's business.
Businesses
still have that mentality. Will it change over time? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. Because, like,
it's hard to, like...
The unfortunate thing is, you know,
communities.
image does play a very big role in this. You know, and I think it's a tough sell, you know, for a lot of these people, a lot of these investors, because they like marketability. And
it's a really big thing.
It is.
It's a big thing, you know, and it's like you have to, like, the unfortunate reality is you have to look the part, and that's what sucks, you know. You get so many people out there who may not, you know, they may not be in the best shape or whatever, and they're some of the best streamers out there.
And
Cyborg Matt is one of the richest Dota 2 contributors just because he made one icon, like one item in game. That's it. He just made one courier. Everyone loved it.
Shit happens.
And now he owns Team Secret.
But yeah, you know, just being able to, I think the biggest thing is just being able to be a positive influence on the community. And, you know, positivity breeds positivity. And as long as you stick with it and are consistent with it, the negative stuff just doesn't matter.
Okay, so I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this. So even when it comes to esports, we are all, when it comes to esports, because they're all gamers.
Yeah.
And as gamers, no matter what, that's kind of like when you see comparing esports to professional, like, athletes, like sport, like stadium sports. That's what I'm going to call it, stadium sports. To differentiate it. You see the athletes on the field. You see them as these peaks of human physical potential.
Right.
That's them on the field. These people are the peaks of human physical potential. Right. However, we as gamers, no matter what, we're always going to have this mentality of like, oh, I am better than them.
It's less than I am better than them. It's more like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
I can do that better. Just not right now,
Right.
but I can do that.
Yeah, so how would you bank on that to
You
make
do what all
esports
the
better?
colleges are doing.
How so?
Is a bunch of colleges, surprisingly what we call the flyover states. All the Midwestern...
America.
Yeah, basically because everyone goes to the coast for business and things like that, technology. What a lot of people realize, this is actually something that puts cities like New York at a disadvantage versus cities like Oklahoma City. They're smaller cities. They're much more flexible with their infrastructure. They're setting up fiber optic right off the bat. Right there alone, you have tons of streamers, tons of gamers, everything. Because they have the equipment already. So in that sense, part of it is location. Part of it is being in the same, like, these colleges that are in Middle America, giving out scholarships for esports players. Part of it is also the whole fact that you now, what's it called? Tax code stuff.
Okay.
Most streamers, most esports players, they all live in Houston, Texas. Why? no income tax.
Okay.
That's a huge thing. Because remember, yes, you could be a professional streamer and everything. You could be a professional. You're still kind of dirt poor in terms of pay.
No, yeah.
Because all your pay is based on whether you win.
Yeah, but how would you, as I'm saying this as manager, scout, whatever, because to gamers, all gamers are viewed on an equal level in their mind. We're all on a same plateau. Yeah, we see another guy who's on a Twitch stream or in a tournament doing amazingly well, won this tournament straight through. But there's always going to be that nagging in the back of your mind as a gamer going, oh, I could totally do that.
And do it.
Yeah. So how would you, as a scout or a manager, bank on that mentality that all gamers have to make esports?
I would have to see it. Like, if you're going to tell me you're that good, show me.
All right.
No, yeah. That's the same thing in Dota 2, MMR.
Right.
You're not considered pro until you hit 6,000 MMR.
Okay.
When you're playing against the actual pros.
Right.
That's how, my mind just blanked, he plays for EG. Sumail. Sumail and his brother were basically, they grew up in Pakistan. They sold their bikes so they could walk to a PC cafe to play Dota 2. Sumail and his brother were both picked up by two different orgs. And the reason why Sumail kind of outshone his brother was because he was younger. He was only 16 at the time and he was signed by EG. Two, the Perfect Worlds Tour out in China, which was one of the biggest Chinese events for Dota 2. A lot of the talent scouts sat there and noticed, hey, this is a 16-year-old whose MMR matches with those of Fear, RTZ, Puppy, like already established pros. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what you have to watch is the people who go to the events, because they're going the extra mile and participate in like the fun lands and stuff like that. And then you start asking questions like, hey, what's your MMR? What's this? So as long as that ranking is there, good. This is my issue with the Overwatch League. My biggest issue with the Overwatch League and Overwatch in general is you can't see that progress because the season is too short. The season is 2 months. A Dota 2 season is 6 months.
Yeah.
You can establish a meta. You can see who can learn the meta easily and adapt.
I mean, the other thing too is like, you know, I think if for anyone who's watching, who's trying to get into this type of stuff, like, don't right off the bat try to shoot for the pro level. You know, practice, figure out what you like or don't like about the game, work on who you can play as or whatever, depending on what type of game, whether it's a fighting game or shooter or whatnot, and then try to find out what's local. You know, go to local events, build your, like, you literally have to build yourself up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're that good, it will shine through. You will get noticed, and then someone might pick you up. You know, it's a dice roll. It's a coin flip. You know, but you have to get out there and do it. Don't just sit at home,
Not even
playing Overwatch.
Yeah.
You know, eating your bowl of cereal while you're like there, like, I'm gonna be Soldier 76 and just run around and shoot people. And then no, like, if you're really that serious about it, find out if there's Overwatch tournaments in your neighborhood. If colleges are hosting Overwatch,
You mean like
tournaments.
Overwatch servers here in the neighborhood of New York City at Logo Street with the Waypoint Cafe?
Sure.
Yeah.
And this is why I love doing things with this squad.
Talking about that, like, it also depends on the game that has that infrastructure built in.
Yes.
Yeah,
For example, with
yeah.
Dota 2, yes, there's the Pro League, and then there's what we call the, I guess you consider it a Little League. There are smaller tournaments which are more open to, hey, you have a 5-man stack or a 6-man stack, like with rotations and stuff like that? Fine. Here are the pools, enter them.
The common thread is that you have to want to be better. You
Yeah.
have to want to be
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
best at all times.
Be
You
the
have to
Purge.
want to.
Be Purge Gamer.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to want to be the one.
You got to be hungry when it
always
comes to these things.
practicing, always trying, always looking at information.
And show up. Show up.
That's it right
I
there.
mean, let's look at, you know, my biggest background, competitive, you know, card games. You know,
I was gonna bring that up. I wasn't sure because
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it up. I wasn't sure that it would fit in with
But
the.
like-
It's an esport.
it's an
It counts as an esport.
It counts as an
Yeah,
esport. You're
first
right.
one.
Yeah, that's very true.
But also, like, there was a point in time where I was among the best. Then real life happened, and I started playing less. But there was a point in time where I could walk into any local tournament. Everyone would go, crap. But I'm just like, you have to push yourself and get out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say, oh, it's the format. Oh, I don't have the cards. Once you start having that negative influence in your own mindset, or you start making excuses, you've already lost. You've lost.
I mean, that was Team Liquid in Dota 2. The past TI winners, they kept the same team lineup for 2 years, which is unheard of in Dota 2. Normally, when a team loses, egos flare, everything like that, team breaks up. Team Liquid is still together because they're like, hey, we work together very well. Keep it. The other thing is, you kind of have, if you want to hit the professional level, you have, I think Miracle plays about, on an average week, 200 to 350 hours of Dota a week almost.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Like, or something Dota related.
It's
That means reading patch notes, that means practicing, that means figuring out item combinations, testing yourself on item combinations.
I mean,
it's just like any professional sport.
Yeah.
You train,
Yeah.
You know, you train all the time. You
practice,
you have
practice, go to major events, go to your local events, practice, go to your local events, go to major events, practice. Like, it's just a repetitive, endless cycle, and you need to just keep hitting it, and hitting it, and hitting it.
It's a different workout. We may not lift weights, but those
That
are
is,
our weights.
yeah.
Our weights
I mean,
are-
our pickup games are saying, "Hey, you want to play this game with me?"
Yeah.
That's it. That's our version of a pickup game. Is like, for example, when we would come over to my place, it's like, "Hey, you want to play some Magic?" That's what we would do. That's what Gina would come over. We would play Magic out of nowhere. You would come over. Hey, Wally, you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh? We would do that. That was our form of a pickup game. Well, yeah, we're playing just random games, but that's how we practice.
Yeah.
And you still hate
have to
my
do the same-
decks.
No, I know you still hate your decks, but
But that
Yeah.
same mentality applies across the board, whether you're in professional sports, whether it's esports, whether it's card games, whether you're trying to be a professional bowler, whatever it is that has some sort of competitive scene, the work is required, and you need to put in the effort.
You get what you put in.
Yeah.
yes.
The other thing, though, also is we're at a different point in time, specifically in the U.S. This is a specific issue to the U.S. I've had the ability to actually leave the U.S., check out other places around the world. Europe has PC cafes. What's with about being shipped to your family in Europe to be fucking like free labor and beat by nuns?
I can travel.
You can go places.
I'm gonna go to Italy. And
Um,
I'm gonna some marinara sauce.
I got beat by nuns. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, but part of it was a lot of local scenes in the U.S. when the arcades died. A lot of the local scenes kind of dissipated. The last bastion was really Chinatown Chinatown Fair, which died, was reborn as Chuck E. Cheese Light. But then now you have like Next Level showing up.
Busters.
It is.
You have Next Level showing up, but I know that they had their own like issues. They had their own issues, and they weren't sure if they were going to be solely video gaming or what we call hybrid shops, which are LAN shops and TCG shops. Now, recently, with GG Leap and the GG Circuit stuff that I do with the cafe here, LAN cafes, LAN centers are starting to show up again. One, because it's easy. Two, the esports aspect is helping. And three, the real third part is people are now starting to understand.
Delicious coffee.
No, but people are now starting to understand that there is still a social aspect to gaming.
Mm-hmm.
People miss the co-op game.
Oh, believe me, I miss co-op games.
When
so
we
much.
pushed on the 360, the PS3, and the Wii, the online, the whole shindig with online, great. Look at the rebirth of board games.
Oh,
The
yeah.
reason why is because and now I get to use my degree, yay. As social creatures, we need to be. We need to be.
Look at me, I'm Gene. I can travel. I have a degree.
So do you, Wally.
I don't travel.
I travel to the corner store.
You can. We're social creatures. Basically, because we're social creatures, we need that actual interaction. Hey! You still go to card shops. You still go to card shops.
We don't
You still
speak
play
about
card games.
I
So you
don't
can
know.
reach over the. So instead of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, you can reach over the table and slap the person saying you played bad
Yes.
because that's what you like.
That's
Same thing
social
with
immersion.
D&D. That's social.
Yes.
Yeah. See.
I
have you all pegged.
I can't debate that.
There's no toy meetup, so I don't know what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you just.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't. No, I know exactly what you do. You guys come. You do what we did when we were kids. You have your toys fight each other.
All the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah.
I'll gladly have He-Man dropkick Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think like stuff like what's here at Waypoint is another thing. Like this is a way to have a sort of practice grounds for people who want to.
Would you say that we're a waypoint for gamers?
Yeah. Just as an example, you have fireside gatherings here at Waypoint.
We just had our most recent fireside gathering. I think total pot was 190.
That's pretty cool.
Hey guys, guess what? You can win to play money.
Win to play money?
Play to
Play to
win.
Play to win money.
I can talk.
That's okay. You didn't
I'm
go to
Wally.
school.
I didn't go to school.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school like Gino. I didn't get a degree like Gino. I could travel to Italy.
Oh my.
But yeah, I
But
think-
no, yeah. The fireside gatherings is a good way. I have my issues with them. Part of them is that they can't be hosted over a hardline connection. They always have to be over Wi-Fi to actually do the tavern brawls and everything like that. And places that are physical game locations are starting to give Blizzard feedback. Like saying, hey, is there a way to enable this to be just over a local area so we can run
I can actually, though, I understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
But as someone who plays Hearthstone a lot and enjoys it.
No, I'm saying to do both.
Yeah. I can see that. I agree that if a location is going to host a fireside, you definitely need both hardline and Wi-Fi because you want someone who can just walk in with their tablet or their phone and start playing.
My issue is just more from like networking.
Oh, no,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, you're connected to my Wi-Fi. Why can't, if the Wi-Fi is on my network using the same IP address,
Yeah.
why can't I connect to the Fireside Gathering via...
Yeah, that I get.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
It kind of feels like what they really should be doing is that the hosting service should be via hardline.
Yes.
And then everyone else.
Not
can
my
just
phone or
hop
my
right in
laptop, which
via
we kinda need.
Wi-Fi. Is really how it should be. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Sorry, this looks like it's gonna fall and it's driving me insane.
Oh, thank
Sorry.
you. It's kind of weird because no one saw what you were reaching
Reaching for it, yeah.
No one saw what you were
Yeah.
reaching for. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This thing is too much to fall. It's driving me crazy.
But yeah, so that's just the direction of competitive gaming. Is something we're gonna be hitting on
Oh, we're gonna hit it big time.
every episode
Yeah.
going forward.
I have issues with the Overwatch League.
I mean, we're gonna get into
No, we're gonna
those
get into that.
soon. It starts up soon, and we get to
Yeah.
watch some matches, and then
Well, it's more just...
we will judge vocally.
No. It's not about the
I
fit.
guess
It's just how... Because I've always viewed esport as a total, as kind of like the Olympics. Where, yes, everyone has their team, and but the total team, it's like, hey, yeah, you have a Hearthstone team, because that's their Olympic sport. Things like that. The Overwatch League is kind of saying, no, we're not part of that. We're just American football.
Yeah, that's how I.
And I have issues with that in general, because it's like...
There's a lot of
Yeah.
kinks that have to be worked out, but I think we can.
I get it from the
save that
business
for-
point of view, but...
I think we save that for another
Oh, that's
episode.
definitely another episode.
So yeah, before I kick it back over to Mario, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on and joining us. All the viewers that came in to give us a peep, everyone who commented in the chat. Thanks so much for joining us on our debut episode. Be sure to follow us on the Twitter.
It's right above
Digital
us.
Era tweet for all the updates on when our official schedule will go live. We're going to work on that right now. You can follow myself as Omega_Z. Our founder Mario is going to be on briefly. I'm sure he'll highlight his little social media stuff as he always tends to do. But we are Code. We're back, and our mission is to decode all things gaming. I'm gonna kick back off to Mario. Thanks you guys for joining in, and we're gonna mosey on out of here.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Again, thank you so much to everyone for being a part of the inaugural Decode podcast. It was a lot of fun, lots of interesting stuff being discussed, and that's how it's going to be over on this particular part of the channel moving forward. Again, Digital Era tweet for our Twitter account. We will be expanding to other social media outlets. We, of course, have the Facebook page, Digital Era Entertainment. A little bit lengthy, but at least you know exactly what to look for. Of course, you can find Digital Era Entertainment on YouTube, which has been the main video hub for Digital Era Entertainment since 2007. You can see it in our display macro above my head. It's Keeper of Oaths. So, yeah, exactly. I had a reaction about that when I was telling you. It's back when I didn't hate Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is fine now. Thank you for bringing in Pixar. I really appreciate that. But in all seriousness, thank you so much. Of course, check out our Patreon. This is how we're going to continue to grow and evolve not only the Decode podcast, but Digital Era Entertainment as a whole. That is patreon.com/digitaldreamer. You can also find me on Twitter at EMP_maniac, which is also my Twitch channel. I will be putting up some content there, and we do cross-post between the two channels. So if you're checking out one channel, you'll be able to check out the other. There will be an entire ecosystem in place for you guys moving forward. Once again, thank you so much. Also, an extra special shout out to Lucas Schineman, who is one of our Patreon backers, one of our rock and rollers, actually. So thank you very much for your support, and thank you for checking out the show, and we will see you guys again soon. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year, everyone.